The Great War, or World War I, was a global war fought in Europe from July 28, 1914 to November 11, 1918. This war was fought between the Allies and the Central Powers, and the Allies came out victorious. In this video, we will be talking about what happens after the war. Of the Allies, the three Western democracies, Britain, France, and the United States experienced post-war problems, especially in politics, foreign policy, economics, and the rise in the Great Depression. Britain experienced party struggles with the Labour Party and the Conservative Party. The Labour Party in Britain gained popularity in that it passed socialist reforms to help the working class. But since the Labour Party mostly represented middle class business interest ideas, it instead supported the Conservative Party, which limited the right for workers to go on strike. Additionally, Britain had tension with Ireland after Ireland's request for self rule wasn't acknowledged. After the Easter Rising and revolt of this injustice, the Irish Republican Army took action against the British. Ireland successfully gained home rule, creating the Irish Free State. Like Britain, France's Third Republic had different political parties competing for power and ways to receive reparations from Germany. Unlike Britain and France, the United States was in good shape as they didn't really participate in the war. They did, however, have an influx of Russians from 1890 to 1914 after the Bolshevik Revolution to escape persecution. This caused the Red Scare, which was a fear of people from Southern or Eastern Europe in fear of a communist influence. This convinced Congress to pass immigration laws restricting these people from entering to the country, including the Japanese and the Chinese. Besides political changes, the three Western nations had difficulty with international foreign policy. France learned from the past invasions by Germany during the Franco-Prussian War and World War I by building the Maginot Line, which wasn't enough to block German soldiers out. France also allied with the Soviet Union to strictly enforce Germany to uphold the Versailles Treaty agreement to keep Germany's economy weak. Britain disagreed with this proposition as Britain thought France and the Soviet Union would become too powerful. Some countries, on the other hand, wanted peace. The Locarno Pact of 1925 in Switzerland was signed to solve border disputes with Germany, France, Belgium, Czechoslovakia, and Poland. In addition, the Kellogg-Briand Pact renounces war as an instrument of national policy, meaning that they pursued disarmament, or the reduced use of arms. The Soviet Union and Germany eventually joined the League of Nations to promote peace. Even though the League of Nations outlawed war, it had no power to enforce it. Likewise, the three Western democracies also experienced post war economics. Wages for workers in Britain were low, so 3 million workers for over 9 days went on a general strike, or strike by workers of different industries. Opposed to Britain, France's economy recovered with Germany's reparations. In contrast, the United States became the world economic power based in capitalism, which kept the global economy stable. The worldwide economic prosperity didn't last long after the United States economy collapsed. Even though the demand for goods were heightened during the war, it collapsed after the war. Farmers, miners, and suppliers of raw material earned less, meaning consumers bought less manufactured items. At the same time, there was an overproduction, a condition in which the production of goods exceeds the demand for them. Factories cut back production, which cuts people from jobs. When the stock market was at an all time high, investors acquired these stocks in a risky way. The Federal Reserve puts interest rates, which lowered the demand for stocks. Feared that the stock values would crash, everyone sold all their stocks at once, and prices crashed, causing the Great Depression. The Great Depression is a painful time of global economic collapse, causing many people to invest less in the stock market and causing multiple businesses and banks to fail. The Great Depression spreads to Germany and France and Britain since they were reliant on US trade. In an attempt to save the economy, all the countries raised their interest rates, which further made the economy worse. Britain, France, and the United States took measures to fix the economic problems of the Great Depression. Britain sets up coalition governments to make labor reforms, but failed to take any decisive action. French socialist leader Léon Blum passed some socialist legislation, yet it couldn't pass any more leftist laws. The United States President Franklin D. Roosevelt introduced the New Deal, a series of economic regulations and government programs to help people economically, with Social Security and pensions for older citizens. The New Deal's benefits backfired after the Dust Bowl that destroyed the agricultural business. The products of a country with a democratic rule are political differences, weak foreign policy, and a collapse in international economy. As a result, citizens lose faith in a democratic government and look towards a more authoritarian power to take control.